I'm Matt Gaskin. I'm head of the School of Architecture here at Oxford Brookes University. We're distinct, and one of the things that's kept me here over the years is the fact that we concentrate on the individual student. It's not a kind of overall broad brush. Is actually we're very interested in what the student can bring to the school as well as what the school can educate the student in. The students We're really keen that over the 3 years of the undergraduate or your 2 years of the postgraduate actually produce a portfolio that reflects what their real interests are and their passion, what they're really passionate about in architecture. And one of the highlights of the portfolio is obviously the work taking through from the concept development all the way to the final design. You've then got the dissertation added into that. Overall, you create a package, even down to some of the students actually create individual portfolios that are crafted, even in terms of the box that they come in. So they actually, when they leave Oxford Brookes, they leave with something very distinct, very individual, and very highly regarded by the profession. We did particularly well on the NSS this year because we obviously have a new building, a new extension, which has made a huge difference to what we offer. We've managed to expand what we can offer to students. Our digital ability in the school is second to none. We teach students how to use software, which some schools of architecture just don't. So we have a dedicated module in undergraduate programs where we can teach you how to use software. We have a dedicated workshop where the person who runs the workshop is also a Part 2 qualified architecture student, so he understands not only about how to use the tools but also about the kind of ethos of what you're trying to produce in terms of the model or the spatial arrangement that you're trying to put together. Having the new extension allowed us to have a dedicated interior studio, so it means the interior architects can wave at the architects across the open bridges. It's allowed more light to come into the building and has actually improved the transparency. So there's nowhere to hide. You have to have a conversation between staff and students. We also have open kitchens. The kitchens are, anybody's able to come in and have a cup of tea. It means that students can help themselves to a cup of tea, but also bump into students from the wider faculty. So real estate, planning, arts, mechanical engineering, computing, publishing. The students are mixing together and more interdisciplinary work than we've ever had. Most schools of architecture in the United Kingdom are accredited by, or have accreditation from the Royal Institute of British Architects and the Architects Registration Board. Here at Oxford Brookes, the architecture course has Part 1 accreditation for the BA Honours in Architecture, and the Part 2, the Masters in Architectural Design, has Part 2 accreditation. We have accreditation both from the RIBA and the ARB. The RIBA we successfully had a validation visit in 2012, which will take us through to 2017. And the ARB, we renewed this prescription for the maximum of 4 years in 2012 also. The Part 2 programme that we have is very distinctive because the Part 2 programme is part of the architecture remit, but it also offers a chance to specialise. The specialisations we run means that you can bite off a little bit of a specialisation. And you're also joining direct entry 1-year master students. The specialisations we offer are development emergency practice, regeneration, sustainability, research-led design and masters in architectural design. So really what we try to do is offer a good range of programmes. That means that not only you're getting a Part 2 qualifications, you're also an expert in a particular area as well on top of that. So it means you have a far more diverse portfolio than you would normally have of a Part 2 programme. But the other thing is you're also rubbing shoulders with some people that are doing a direct entry Masters. So it means the cross range of people and the cultural awareness you're building up over time is diverse. In addition to that, we also run some quite amazing field trips. This year the Development Emergency Practice field trip will actually be taking the students into Haiti, along with other students from Harvard University, where David Sanderson is a visiting professor this year. We're also running a field trip into Palestine. So the idea is to put people onto field trips where they can actually see evidence of what they're doing in real terms. And in Palestine they're actually doing live builds with the local community as well. I came into post as head of school just under 3 years ago, and one of the things that we definitely want to encourage, which we already have but want to make it even stronger, is the research linked to teaching. So we have 6 research groups, all of whom every single member of staff sits within one of those research groups. The research groups vary from sustainability, technology, place, culture and identity. But interdisciplinary-wise, the staff in the school, we're not just architects, there's artists, there's anthropologists, there's humanitarians working in the schools. The idea is that by actually working across these disciplines in the research groups, we can actually engender new forms of thinking in relation to research. The great thing about the research groups is they actually link directly into the teaching. So you will see people that, such as Bill Flynn, who's just gone out to the Philippines to do 3 weeks' work of tornado-built shelter. In January, he'll run a shelter after disaster 2-week program with the students here. So they'll actually be giving his practical guidance plus his academic expertise into students that will actually then be working in the field within probably 6 months to a year. We are supported by some very large practices who support us in lots of different ways. They give us guest speakers, they run BIM workshops for us, building information management systems, dedicated in their offices. We have dedicated sets of people that will always employ, if they can, a Brookes student because they like what we give them. I also have a professional liaison group that run every year, which is small, medium and large practices come in and talk to me about what kind of people they're after. And the first group I ran of that 3 years ago decided there was 2 aspects they wanted from a school of, a graduate of a school of architecture, which was enthusiasm and intellectual rigour. And we seem to be able to deliver both easily